All right, welcome back to a comparison of the Napoleon S25 and the Regency i2500. Behind me now, I have installed the Regency i2500, 78,000 BTUs, catalytic combustor, give you a quick rundown on it. And then at the end of this video, I'll show you the Napoleon S25 that I had in here before. And that one had 54,000 BTUs, also a wood burner charcoal finish. Here we go. So I really like this unit. After we took out the Napoleon S25, we put this one in, and we felt that difference between the 54,000 BTUs of the Napoleon S25 and this Regency i2500 with 78,000 BTUs. The air shutter is on the left on this model. We have more fan controls over here, and this blower does not rattle at all. So zooming in here on the blower controls, the fan has an option for putting it in auto mode or manual. So you can just do a manual override and turn it on. Up here you've got a rocker switch. Middle position is off. That's low position. If we listen, that's the blower on low, and then we crank it all the way up. And you can hear that thing on high. And this thing is just cranking out heat out the top here, just unbelievable. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off just so it's not so loud. We've got a really nice mechanism on the door handle that Napoleon doesn't have. It's got a really smooth cast iron piece instead of steel, and it rolls very, very smooth and latches very, very nice. So I really like that. Up here is where the catalytic combustor control is. So it comes with a temperature gauge. You pull this out and you check your temperature over here, and it has to be above 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you go ahead and grab your little tool and shove this in, and it drives about 80, well, it drives almost all the exhaust through that catalytic combustor and reburns suspended particulates. And then next we're going to take a look at how to load a piece of wood. Again, I'm just burning like a very inexpensive pine that we get here in Denver. It grows in the nearby hills. So we're going to go ahead and do this, load it up. So what we want to do is you want to open up your catalytic combustor here. That when you pull it out, that pulls it away from the exhaust, so it cheats and goes right up the flue without any efficiencies. Make sure your blower is off down here, and your air control, you can probably just leave it at an average setting. Open this up, let it establish a new airflow. Just looking through the door here, you can see, just let it establish a new draft pattern for just a moment. Go ahead and pull it open. Not a bad idea to have some welding gloves handy. I'm going to go ahead and risk it here on the video. I'm going to go ahead and put this log in. Just kind of shove it in there up on top. You don't want to bang it too hard. Up inside you can see the baffle, in this case, is a vermiculite panel rather than the fiber panel of the Napoleon. And then we've still got the 3 to 4 air tubes along the ceiling. And then we go ahead and take our tool. We're going to shove this handle back in. That drives the air through the catalytic combustor. It's engaging the new fuel load. And then over here on the left, I'm going to take this air shutter it down and pull it back out just a ½ of an inch. And look at that baby. It actually, I've done this before, we won't do it in this video, but it turns the wood black. And the wood really stops getting a visual ignition on it. And it basically becomes charcoal. And what occurs is gasification. So the wood is actually baking. And when the wood starts baking, it drives the hydrogen and carbon off, and then it combusts up along the ceiling at the apex of the flame where it receives the fresh air at the hottest point of the flame. So really it's absolutely genius. We're driving the gases off the wood. You can see it ghosting behind me over here and burning along the ceiling. And then it's going right up through the catalytic combustor around the baffle. Well-made stove. Very impressed. I can feel that 78,000 BTUs of the Regency versus the 54 of the Napoleon. And it's putting out probably 1 gram an hour less on emissions. So not that I could probably ever detect that with the human eye, but it is just fun to note. This comes in a sort of light metallic or satin color. The Napoleon has a very attractive charcoal color, so something else to note there. Overall, I give very high marks for the Regency. Next, on to the Napoleon S25 during its burn cycle. All right, now with the Napoleon S25 has been going for exactly 30 minutes, let's take a look at our temperature gauge right here on top, and it looks like we're running between 4, 5, and even 600. When we go just a little further back, you can see where my laser dot is. just behind the shroud there. So we're at 600 degrees there. Now it's time to go ahead and take a quick look at our logs. We've got our 7 or so logs fully engulfed in flame. That top-down burn absolutely lit beautifully. We're going to have a nice long hot fire. Now it's time to shut her down over here, and we're literally going to come over and put this in. Maybe that's 100% in. We want to come out just a little. So again, 100% in, come out maybe 10%, something like that. And we got a strong heat signature right now. Again, the flames will darken to a more amber color, from a yellow to an amber. You'll hear a pinging and a tinging on the metal, as the metal is actually stretching and changing shape with the heat signature change. Logs fully engulfed. It's a beautiful fire, going to burn for hours. Well, thank you for joining me on this fire demonstration. I hope this is helpful to you and your family this winter as you start fires in your wood burning stoves and inserts. Take care.